One of these days, I'm going to go live. I'm going to surprise you. I'm going to take the cameras live while everybody is still chair dancing to the intro song.
Hey.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Gamestack Podcast, episode 27, No Save November. I'm Shalene, and joining me is Vendertron. Hello, Vendertron.
Welcome, sir or madam.
And Rick McVick.
Hey everybody, how's it going this fine Friday evening?
How are you fellows today?
What?
Shalene, today was a good day.
Good.
Yeah, it was a good day.
For me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a good day.
Normally we have a lot to talk about when the days are terrible, but today was a good day and that's it. That's
it was
just
fine. I
Yeah,
got a lot
that's
of
good.
work done.
Yeah.
Nothing
week.
was a crisis.
Nothing.
I got to
Caught
go
on
treasure
fire.
hunting. It was good.
Again?
Tell us
Well,
about treasure hunting.
Well, on Wednesday and Thursday, I was hunting through an old derelict building for
Oh.
audio gear and another building for audio gear, and I came away with a lot of stuff. Found
Well,
some really good
can you just share some of that wealth?
stuff.
Hello.
No, a lot of it is
One man's junk is Shalene or Vendertron's treasure.
a lot of it is not getting sold or getting it's not leaving my house. But some of it is being brokered off. Yeah, it's really if anyone cares about old audio stuff, you can ask me about it. But yeah, it's I came away with a couple $1,000 worth of equipment.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really fun. I love treasure hunting. It's so much fun. I blame it for all those PBS specials when I was a child, where it's like
Like Antiques Roadshow?
no, not even that. But it was like there was this show that this guy would go around trying to find hidden treasure. And I remember one of the episodes was about like a specific pirate ship. I can't remember what it was. But then there was another one where he was looking for Dillinger's treasure. I have to try to remember what it was. But it was I loved those shows because I was like, I want to do that when I get older. And now I kind of am.
What was that show? It was with the lockers. And the guy would
Saved by the Bell.
they
My
would
mom
bid on
used
the
to watch
locker.
that show.
Storage Wars?
Yes,
Storage
that's the one.
Wars.
Not old. I'm talking about 1994.
I'm not
Yeah.
talking about old shows. I'm talking about shows in which you find buried treasure.
But Storage Wars.
American
Storage Wars, man.
Pickers was a good one as well.
So anyway,
Yeah.
it was a good it was a good
So,
it was a good week.
anyways, that's salvage show for this week. So, guys, welcome to everybody in the chat. Cyber Red Panda, been a while since we've seen ya. Glad to see you around. Joseph Tao, Archin, Tasman. We're really glad to see everybody. Dirty Llama Racer.
Mhm.
Welcome to everyone here in chat. And if you, audio listener, would like to join us on the live recording, you can find us at twitch.tv/WeJustLoveGames every Friday at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. If you are in the live audience, please give us a host. And you, listener, can help grow this show by telling your friends, hosting on Twitch, share the show on your social media. That all really helps new people find us, and it helps the audience grow. Our community of lovely, lovely gamers get bigger and bigger and better and better. And speaking of lovely members of our community, we like to highlight people who leave 5-star reviews on iTunes because that is something that really helps our show in terms of visibility. So, Vendertron, would you like to tell the fine people who left a 5-star review this fortnight?
Celtic999 from Great Britain called us an awesome team and said, great to hear from them all again. The podcasts are always fresh and fun. Keep it up, guys and girls. Loves ya. Arkle258 from the US said, if you're going to listen to one gaming podcast, make it this one. Been following these folks since a podcast long ago in a galaxy far, far away. The most entertaining group in gaming. That should be our slogan. The most entertaining group in gaming.
I don't know. It's okay when Arkle says it about us, but if we're saying that about ourselves, that's
True.
That's not
Yeah.
a very, very sportsmanlike, you guys. That's-
Have you ever gone into a restaurant that says world's best coffee, and all of a sudden you're
It's really
super
bad.
skeptical? No, you're just even skeptical right off the bat. You're like, I don't think.
But is it really the best cup
if
of
you have
coffee?
to tell us it's the best coffee, it's probably not.
Yeah, I
well,
don't
it's
think
settled
Shane
then. Our
Steiner was voted number
podcast
one.
slogan is going to be "World's Best Podcast." Yeah,
World's best cup of podcast.
I like that. Actually, that's really good. Here we are planning the show on the show.
Of course.
If you missed the Young and the
It's comedic.
Council, guys, don't forget it's you can watch it right here on Twitch in the archives. Just blow off the dust and the Halloween spideys. And it's also going to be on YouTube. Yes.
Yes, it's scheduled to post tomorrow.
So you can find it there. And Shalene, man, was that a good episode?
Oh, it was so good. I can't wait for
Sorry, I missed
episode 2, except Fallout is happening this weekend. So
Yeah, it's not gonna go over.
yeah,
Council can wait.
as much
Council
as I
can
love
wait.
the council, there's Fallout happening. I'm gonna be there.
Well, we're gonna have to rename it to the Old in the Council because by the time we get back to it,
For the council, I was really impressed with the council though. That is a great video game.
yes, we'll chat about that in a bit too. Our gameplay.
Indeed. Speaking of gameplay that we're going to be chatting about, we're going to have quite a bit more of that later on in the episode. Along with news, we have some things to talk about, including new releases, the free games for November, and some other news items. Gamestock, the unsinkable Gamestock segment. The segment may be unsinkable, but the stock market is crap right now. So yeah. It's something. It's really something.
Yeah.
We have an email to read, and Bethesda decided today to give everyone who is participating in the beta 3 codes to give to their friends. And I may or may not have bought 2 copies of Fallout 76, so I have 6 codes, and I'm going to give them away right here on this episode.
How did you get 6 codes?
Because I bought 2 copies of Fallout 76.
But I didn't get a code.
Well, you probably did, and you just haven't checked.
No, I haven't got anything in my email yet.
Well, you don't get it in your email. You have to go to Bethesda.net and go to your transactions, and it's in
okay.
there.
Well, because I'll give away my code too.
There should be 3 of them. So
three
and they're
codes.
region locked. So my codes, I love you very much, Canadian and UK listeners, etc. So on and so forth. But only US users will be able to use these codes. So, Vendertron, you can give yours away to our Canadian brethren. And
Right,
sisters.
Josh and Neurotic. I think him and I are the only ones.
Yeah. Anyway, so
Okay,
code giveaways
great.
later. Vendor, do you want to be on top of code giveaway?
Well, that'll be easy once I find my own code.
Sounds good.
It'd be great. Yeah.
While we get that together, let's roll on into the news. Rick, why don't you talk about the games that are coming up this November?
Okay, the games that are releasing in November. That's actually a lot. That's the reason why I called this episode the No Save November, because when I get to some of these titles, your wallet will be empty, but your heart will be full of pixel-related adventure. So, starting November 1st, we've got The Quiet Man on PC and PlayStation 4. I think we talked about this game, didn't we?
Yes, I believe Joseph brought it up when we were playing the beta with him.
Right, I thought he was saying The White Man. I was like,
Yes.
Joseph, I don't know if we should talk about that. But yeah, The Quiet Man, a very interesting looking game. I can't remember where I think we covered it. But anyway, November 2nd, we've got Diablo 3 Eternal Collection for the Switch. We've got Taiko no Drum and Fun for the Switch, and Taiko no Shushin Drum Session for PlayStation 4. I'm not even going to try. Then we have what is I'm just going to pronounce it like a terrible, terrible thing. We got Drachny for the PSVR November.
Who comes up with that? That's
What
probably
is-
going to be like the game of the year.
What is it? Dirt. I
I
can't.
have no idea. I don't have any better idea than you do, but it's on PlayStation
Daracene.
VR.
We got Drachny, PSVR November 6th. We have on November the 6th as well, we've got World of Final Fantasy Maxima for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Overkill's The Walking Dead. I like that name because it's exactly what the show is Overkill.
You know,
And
this
that's on
game actually looks pretty okay though.
But it's like, how much more could we get?
I know.
Seriously.
But like, yeah.
This
like,
is the first
I-
season that I'm not following The Walking Dead. It feels weird.
I
know
stopped at season 3.
I
because the
have like
characters named Rick is no
Stockholm
longer in the
syndrome
show.
with that show. Like,
I got out. I was able to just leave, But anyway, so that's coming out on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC on November 6th, as well as The Forest on PlayStation 4, November 6th. Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC, also November 6th. Moving to November 8th, Ride 3 for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Valiant Hearts is coming to the Switch on November 8th.
Hey!
oh, if you missed Valiant
That's gonna be a
Hearts,
gooder.
then you need to pick it up on Switch. If you have a Switch and you miss Valiant Hearts, that's a really good fit for the platform too.
Yeah, Valiant Hearts is pretty awesome.
Is that like kind of World War
One.
2E looking game kind of
World War
cartoon?
One, yeah.
hmm
That got a lot of acclaim. if
It
I'm
has
not
a very
mistaken.
good doggo.
It's really good. It's really good.
So switching over to November 13th, we've got Hitman 2 for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. We've got SNK 40th Anniversary Edition. The SNK 40th Anniversary Collection on the
Holy-
Switch.
Oh, dear.
And why my wife will not be available for the rest of the year. Spyro Reignited Trilogy on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. And suspected to go to the Twitch that day as well. Well, there's some speculation there. They haven't released a date for it, but that's what everyone's saying. On November 14th, more importantly, Fallout 76 coming to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Switching over to November 15th, we've got Underworld Ascendant coming to the PC. On November 16th, we have Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee to the Switch. November 16th, like I said. Civilization 6 is coming to the Switch on November 16th. And Battlefield 5 coming to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC on November 20th. And also Wreckfest coming to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One on November 20th. Darksiders 3 is coming to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC on November 27th. On the 28th, Artifact is coming to PC. On November 30th, both Katarami, Damacy Reroll,
Katamari.
whatever, and X4 is coming to PC. I'm done with these names. What did I say? Katamari? Mari?
Katarami? I don't remember now.
Katarami?
I don't remember now. It was cute.
I
though.
read darn good. Anyway, so yeah, that's all the games that's coming out. And if you're a fan of most of those games, like I think some of us are, you won't have any money left over for Christmas.
Yeah, we are definitely into that holiday season of all the games releasing. So for
Yeah.
sure, it's a big month in games.
I wonder what December's going to look like.
So after you've spent all your money on all of these games and you have no money left, but you still want more games, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Why don't you tell us, Fendertron?
Why don't you tell us? Because I'm working on the list for the code giveaway.
Right,
Oh.
right. So, if you can get free games if you have a subscription, Xbox Games with Gold, PlayStation Plus, and Twitch Prime, and we're just gonna roll through those for this month. Xbox Games with Gold, you can get Battlefield 1 November 1st through the 30th. Rick, you've played some Battlefield 1, haven't you? How was it?
Oh, it's absolute. It not. I didn't like it.
Really not good.
No, I mean, I don't know. I just didn't like it. I had so many server issues trying to find things, and I couldn't get the hang of it.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I tried so hard to play it, I just wasn't very good.
I played the little
Alright.
prologue mission of the single player episodes. I played the
Mhm.
prologue, and I thought it was fine. You know,
Well,
it was,
the storyline's good, but I was talking
it
about
was
the
a
multiplayer.
shooter.
Just-
Well, you know, those are both important parts of the game.
Yeah.
Race the
I like
Sun.
Battlefield 4.
Yeah, Battlefield 4 was pretty good. Race the Sun is available November 16th through December 15th, and this is a game that's kind of channels the old arcade spirit. The original Assassin's Creed is available November 1st through the 15th. I have a feeling that one might be a little tough to go back to after being used to the modern controls. But the story is phenomenal, especially the modern day story from Assassin's Creed. I really enjoyed it. So definitely check that out if you're an Assassin's Creed fan. Dante's Inferno is available November 16th through the 30th. This game, it came out a long time ago. This is one of the backwards compatible titles. And I remember it being okay. Like, okay.
Just okay?
So, just okay.
Just
So,
okay.
if you would like super okay game for free, you can get Dante's Inferno November 16th through the 30th. If you are a PlayStation Plus member, you can get Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition, and Bulletstorm is also pretty okay. It's it's a first-person shooter. It's got kind of a Gears of War feel about it. It's pretty okay, actually. Yakuza Kiwami is it's a Yakuza game. I've never played one of those. I hear they're pretty zany though. They look interesting. So
You like
definitely
those
check that
Japanese
out.
games?
I like some Japanese games. It just depends. It looks intriguing, but they're huge games and I don't have time. For PlayStation 3, you can get Jackbox Party Pack 2 or the Arcado series. I don't know what that is. If you have a PlayStation Vita, you can get these games. They are cross-buy with PlayStation 4, Roundabout, and Burly Men at Sea. And I'm sorry, I just have to click the link and find out what Burly Men at Sea is because I don't know. It sounds like it's right up my alley here.
That sounds like it's not a game.
Burly Men at Sea. You got to be careful when you're Googling that.
Yeah. It's actually a snow removal company from Cincinnati. They wear kilts and come and do your driveway.
This is one of Time Magazine's top 10 games of the year. It is a folktale about a trio of large, beardy fishermen who set out in search of adventure. It's set in early 20th century Scandinavia, and the story branches through a series of encounters with creatures from folklore. This looks amazing. This looks like a Shalene game.
The art style
Shalene
looks
as
beautiful.
heck right here. Look at this. Oh my goodness gracious, you guys. End the podcast. I'm gonna go play Burly Men at Sea.
See you guys.
Bye guys. It was fun. If you're a Twitch Prime member, you can get Overcooked, Overload, Air, Memories of Old, and The Pillars of the Earth. So I think Overcooked is definitely the headliner there from that trio.
What is
So-
that?
Overcooked is so fun. Oh my goodness.
Oh, look at that. Looks like a game I could care less about.
Yeah, it's really fun. It would be a fun game like to play with your daughter. And you have to like serve food and stuff and it's co-op and
My
they get
daughter's downstairs
challenging.
playing Destiny 2.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
Think she's gonna play Overcooked?
Yes, I do. I think she would play Overcooked. I would
Probably
like
she
to
would.
see. I would like to see Rick. You're dismissing Overcooked. It is a hardcore video game. Like it is. It is challenging. I would like to see you play some Overcooked, and then you can disparage Overcooked.
Right.
All right. Okay.
Oh, by the way, with Destiny 2, my daughter, when she first played it, she was asking after shooting a little bit, she goes, "How do I stab?" And then she just went around and stabbed everything. Even when she wasn't even close, she was just swinging the knife.
Wow. Oh man, that's so funny. So speaking
It's
of
great.
Destiny, Rick, why don't you tell us about today's Destiny news?
So, I talk about Destiny 2 a lot. Shalene liked what she played of it so far, and Nathan Fillion is a voice actor in it. So what else do you need? Well, you probably need the game. Right now, until I think November 18th, if you sign up for a Battle.net account, you get the base Destiny 2 game for frizzle.
Okay.
For free. You get the base Destiny 2 game for free when you sign up for a Battle.net account, which I think is a pretty good deal.
I think that is an unbeatable deal to get
course.
Destiny 2
Destiny
for
2 is a
free.
very good game.
It is. I've really enjoyed it so far. We need to get back to our trek through the
do.
Destiny 2 story one of these days.
We do.
And also I would like to say that I don't want to hear you saying frizzle on the show anymore unless you're talking about the Magic
Miss
School
Frizzle?
Bus.
Agreed. Guys, I'm in the M's. The list is long, okay?
Oh, wow.
Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be back in a few.
What have we been doing?
So let's roll on through the news. I'm sorry, I got a little sidetracked there. And as always, shout out to Joseph Tao, moderator extraordinaire, who helps to compile the news so that we don't miss anything important. Thank you, Joseph. We appreciate it. I think we reported last time that the ability to change your PSN name was coming. And now we have some updates. This article is from Game Informer. And Sony's firmware beta 6.1 is starting to go out, and that includes the option to change your PSN name. But there are a ton of possible issues that could assail you if you do change your name. So maybe hold off on that if you're considering it. Among the problems reported, games and apps may not function properly. You may lose access to virtual currency and DLC that you have paid for. Save game data can be lost, including leaderboard status, your in-game progress, your trophy information, which is a huge problem. Huge problem by my reckoning. And your former PSN ID may remain visible to both you and other players, even after you've changed it. So I think this is not a good idea to do right now. Let other people test this out, friends. Let other people test it out. And then after they've worked out all the problems, then you can check it out.
Yep.
Side note, Stu, Tat, Tess, thank you for having short names.
Oh, poor Bender. Okay.
That's funny.
And Xbox Game Pass is coming to PC, you guys.
This is weird.
Why is it weird?
I don't know. It's just strange because things are merging into a PC-centric world. So it's a good thing, but it's just strange because now, like, it's Xbox on PC. It's just different.
Right. Well, I think that it's definitely a good thing for the gamer.
Oh,
for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I really like the idea of Xbox Game Pass being available on PC. I am a Game Pass member, and I've been really happy so far. I've played a bunch of the games. I use it for when my nephew comes, and he wants to play games that aren't necessarily my taste. So he has access to this massive library of games.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cool because you guys are primarily PC. So when we play together, it's on PC, and this gives me access to more games that we could potentially play together.
That's true.
I never used to be primarily PC.
Welcome. How's it feel?
Well, I try not to tell people.
Wow. Okay. Are you ashamed?
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
And
Are you
how does
ashamed?
that make you feel?
Yeah. Cue the sitar.
Do I have the sitar ready?
No,
Do we
it's
need
okay.
some
Just
sitar?
go. Just
Do
go.
we need
There's
some
no
sitar?
time. Oh no, what have I done?
I love that freaking sitar, you guys. I love it.
We're never gonna get through the show.
I love it so much.
Oh man.
Okay, guys, don't judge me, but I want to talk about Pokemon Go.
Okay.
Pokemon Go is adding a feature that I have been wanting since the beginning of Pokemon Go. So one of the mechanics of Pokemon Go is that it tracks your steps and applies those steps toward the hatching of Pokemon eggs and the earning of candies. You have a Pokemon buddy, and the buddy earns candies as you walk. And so now they are implementing a feature called Adventure Sync, which basically links Pokemon Go with the Health app on your phone, and it gives you credit in Pokemon Go for the steps that you rack up on your fitness tracker. So you don't have to have the app open to count steps, which I think is fantastic. A lot of people are really concerned about privacy issues.
I was just gonna say that. I would never use that for that reason.
I would 100% give up my privacy to hatch some Squirtles. So
So the privacy issue is just them accessing your smartwatch?
The health app, basically.
Well, the potential to access other health data other than your steps, so your body weight, your date of birth, that's those kinds of things. Probably has your home address too and stuff.
Does it? Does it have my
I
home
think
address in there?
depends on the health app. Like some of the apps that I use have my home address because
It's
I
the
cycle.
built-in health app, like the health app on iPhone and like Google Health or whatever on Google whatever.
It's one giant experiment.
Yeah.
I just feel like with every bit of online thing that everyone does daily, this is where we're drawing the line.
Yeah.
No,
Exactly.
I think lines are drawn all over the place. People don't know what they give up though.
Yeah.
And
for
I would
sure.
imagine a large majority of the Pokemon Go population don't really have even any sort of iota of a concept of privacy
Look,
and data privacy.
The second I step online, I know I might as well just be naked in public because everything is laid to bear. I mean,
Well, we know what that's like.
We've done that before.
Done that. Been there, done that.
I just mean that, like, you know, I'm never really gonna. I expect certain things to keep certain things secret, but like,
Well, it was the only time we ever had Naked Rick and fried chicken in the same moment.
it's true. You wouldn't think those two things go together, but we're still going strong.
It worked for us. Here we are, 20 episodes later.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh wow! This how do I segue out of that?
You just aged
speaking
us.
Speaking of things that I want to leave, we'll leave this conversation just like Jade Raymond left EA Motive, the studio she helped to found. This is huge news, guys. Huge news. Jade Raymond is a massive talent in development, and she's leaving EA Motive. They have been working on an unnamed Star Wars video game. This is the same game that Amy Hennig had been working on when she left the company, when she left EA. So,
wow,
this is I really like. What is going on with this video game? You know, why is it?
Nobody wants to touch it.
I can't, guys. What's going on? What is going on here? I can't
There's
wait for the news.
bad energy.
I'm trying to think of what's the worst thing that could happen in a Star Wars franchise that would make people leave, and I'm trying to. I mean,
management, bad management.
No, it'd have to be something with a storyline. Like it turns out that Luke is actually Vader's father or something, you know? And they're like, no, we're leaving.
No, like you took it too far.
You know.
Wow.
Oh no.
Or something like they went all I'm my own grandpa with the Skywalker family line. I don't know, like, but everyone who seems to work on this is just
Cyber Red's panda Mickey, Star Wars Mickey.
Oh.
Oh dear. I'd be surprised if we might see that, guys. Mickey, like, because Kingdom Hearts, like Disney owns Star Wars now.
No,
this could happen.
I just love talking about all these old games.
Are you leading us into the next thing? You are. Thank you. Speaking of old games, if you would like to play those, but you're having struggles because of issues, the Library of Congress has made it easier to play old games under the Digital Millennium Copyright Act.
Wow, really?
Yes.
this is interesting.
It really is.
So explain, what's this exactly mean?
Yes, tell me.
Basically, this is giving you permission to circumvent DRM to play an old game. You know, because sometimes, you know, with older games, you just can't play them anymore. You know, they're unplayable. Yeah. There's not a way to legally play them.
For those of you who don't know, DRM is digital rights management. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a form of copyright or an approach to copyright.
Interesting.
Basically. So what the article says is that the Library of Congress has given libraries and archives, as well as museums, the right to circumvent DRM so that video games can be preserved in playable condition. And this year's list of exceptions it confirms that right. So this is really a good thing. And I
What does
hope
that
it's
mean for
upheld.
gamers, though?
Basically, it means that you can use a library or a museum to
Play games.
play games. Yeah, and I included Joseph's commentary in the notes here because he works in copyright and has a unique take on this, in my opinion.
All right.
He says that an additional section of this article calls out instances of DRM where online authentication is required in order to play games. Once a copyright holder shuts down authentication services, consumers now have the right to break DRM in order to play games. The list of exceptions also includes new guidance regarding video game hardware, which is bundled in a provision covering farming equipment and automobiles. That's interesting.
That's interesting.
After October 28th, when this new guidance goes into effect, consumers will have the legal right to break DRM restrictions to repair and maintain their game consoles, especially if this gets eventually upheld in court. Joseph says that he can see especially Nintendo suing over this. But this is
Nintendo for sure.
Huge win for being able to essentially hack a way to create archives of the games industry, at least the public side of it. And he mentions that some companies are sloppy and don't even have functioning source code of some games. I'm looking at you, Square Enix, reportedly not having the source code for Final Fantasy VIII.
You know what's interesting? I'm kind of thinking about this, like, because I'm into audio archiving. This is very similar. Like, the source code are the masters, essentially, of these games. And without those, it's gone. And there's nothing left.
Mm-hmm.
You can't really uncompile it, really, from a disk. So this is a good an effort to archive history,
Digital history.
It's needed. But I was just thinking I could see this meeting, about the whole, like, it's covered under farming equipment and automobiles. It's like, so Senator Rigby, you say that, gaming systems are now under with farming equipment and automobiles? And yes, sir. Have you ever played Harvest Moon?
Yeah. Have you played Farm Sim?
I see a point. So that's really cool. I hope this works because I would really like to see like a gamearchive.gov.
That would be incredible.
Well, and it's incredibly timely considering that emulators are kind of leaving us.
Well, Nintendo's shutting down a lot of that. Anything that they own that's been in emulation is pretty much gone. I can't play Knight Rider anymore, and I'm pissed.
The fact that Nintendo's pulling back on all those things makes me wonder if they have their own archive.
Well, or they're just money grubbing little.
I would imagine that they are incredibly efficient and have all of that original source code.
Perhaps. Well, I mean, obviously, but they're just holding on to it. I mean, why else does it make any sense where it's like, hey, remember those NES games you bought on the the Wii? Now you got to buy them again on the Switch.
Yeah, but you know what this makes me think about? Like, fast forward 30 more years, what's the landscape for archiving digital code and assets for video games from games of today, like indie games and these one-off companies?
Oh, I know, that's what I mean. Like,
is it just going to be a smorgasbord of just like, I
have no idea. I mean, nowadays, here's the thing, like with audio, you can still dig through people's attics and find, 78s of these songs that were recorded that no one else has. And, but it's going to be a lot harder to dig through someone's quote unquote attic and find the hard drive that contained the source code for, like, I don't know, pick an indie game.
Yeah. Some developer named Andrew in some one-off branch of the government will be sitting in an office with no windows, packed in some basement of some archive building, decompiling games and getting them ready for storage for the rest of his life.
Or just digging through, like, I don't know, like that stuff's harder because, nobody keeps old computers and old hard drives.
I keep all my old hard drives.
Except for weirdos like Vendor, they just get thrown out most of the time or recycled, and there goes all that stuff. I mean, I lost myriads of pictures just because I was young and stupid and didn't know anything about keeping pictures and archiving and backups and things like that, and just do the hard drive out. So like, how much stuff is going to get lost in that way? I don't know. It's definitely someone's got to come up with a solution or put forth an effort to try to procure this stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's really interesting. Thanks for sharing that, Joseph.
Yeah, what a great discussion. So speaking of money grubbing old video games, the full list of games that will be available on the PlayStation Classic Retro Mini Console has been announced, and I'm just going to read these games to you guys. Ooh. Battle Arena Toshinden.
Cool.
Cool Borders 2. Destruction Derby. Final Fantasy VII. Grand Theft Auto.
Yes.
Nice.
Intelligent Cube. Jumping Flash. Metal Gear Solid.
There we go.
By the way, we talked about not being able to go back and play Assassin's Creed, even though it has an amazing storyline. Metal Gear Solid is one of those games where it's like, I love the story, but geez, it's clunky.
Yeah. Mr. Driller. Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey. Rayman.
Mm-hmm.
Resident Evil Director's Cut.
Oh no, complete with the awful live acting video. Oh my gosh, they were terrible.
Revelations Persona. Ridge Racer Type 4. Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo. Siphon Filter. Tekken 3. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. Twisted Metal. And Wild Arms.
I felt like we were at like the Emmys there for a minute. Twisted Metal is exciting. I love that game. The Beehive. Oh, yeah, it's so good.
So I never had an original PlayStation, guys. Tell me, what are the gems here?
Twisted Metal, hands down. Grand Theft Auto. Final Fantasy, yeah. Metal Gear Solid. Yeah. Resident Evil.
More importantly, what's missing?
Siphon Filters in there. That's good.
What's missing? I would say Crash Bandicoot.
Soul Calibur.
Joseph says Legend of Dragoon.
Dude, that was on 3 discs. That's true. Final Fantasy was on 4. No, Dragoon was on 4 discs, I think. I forget.
Wow, did they ship it on a spindle?
Yeah, it was one of those like 50 CD cases.
Is it like Titanic, where you only watch the second one?
It was 4 discs.
You only play the first movie because.
Well, no, there was a time where it was like with the PlayStation, the how many discs your game came on was like, I remember I was like, man, Final Fantasy VII is the best RPG of all time. It's 3 discs. And my friend was like, dude, Legends of Dragoon is better. It's 4 discs. And I was like, I need to find something with 5 to win,
So my cousins had a PlayStation, and I remember playing Spyro on it. And I remember playing this X-Men game, and I loved that X-Men game.
I don't know about that.
I was thinking about it the other day, and I thought, why are there no X-Men games nowadays? Like, why has there not been a modern X-Men game?
Because the last good superhero, specifically Spider-Man game, just came out, and the myriad that came out before that. And we're going to talk a little bit more about terrible superhero games coming up. So there's a reason, I think.
PlayStation Classic. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say Armored Core would be another good one for the PlayStation Classic. I loved those games.
Guys, Grand Theft Auto Vice City is $10 on Steam.
Nice. Joseph Tao says the newest decent X-Men was probably X-Men Origins Wolverine. Yeah, I agree. That one was not bad. It was fine.
They've been getting better.
But it's been a long time even since that game came out. So... PlayStation Classic releases on December the 3rd. It comes with 2 controllers, $99.
Cool.
Speaking of PlayStation themed furniture is a thing. I want it, but it's expensive.
Of course it would be.
Yes, it's from Pottery Barn. So there's an acrylic cubby that costs $70. An icon wall light that costs $200. It has the triangle OX square. A beanbag chair that's $250. It looks like a great beanbag, but Gosh, that's so expensive.
No thanks.
A lounge table is $400 and a gaming TV media console is $1,100. And frankly, guys, this doesn't look worth it, but it's super stylish.
I'll take IKEA because it still looks good and costs half as much.
Look
By the way, if I get cut off, it's because it's storming like crazy outside.
Oh dear.
Yes.
Look at this ad, guys. The listeners can't see it, but Rick and Vendor can see it.
Yeah.
I would love to have a room set up like this. I think it's fabulous.
Oh, that was taken at my house.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
delightful.
yeah. I got royalties for that.
Fantastic. Glad we showed it here then.
Mm-hmm.
You make your coin, honey. Okay.
I work my corner.
Whoa. Whoa.
So.
No, I can already say no to this. No.
Okay,
No.
guys.
This story made the cut?
The first footage of Henry
No.
Cavill as the Witcher has come
No.
out. They released like a hair and makeup test. Netflix, I'm going to show it to you guys here that are watching the
No.
video. Rick, shh, we need the people to see it.
She's going to punch you in the throat. Okay, here we go.
No.
Oh, man.
It's terrible.
That's what I feel like when I get up in the morning.
My dudes, why is this so low budget? And like, I think it would have been a lot more effective if they would have shown like
Wow.
what he looked like after drinking the potion. Like, because in the lore, you know, the potions make, I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Geralt. Like, I've read the
Geralt.
books, but the books don't tell me how to pronounce his name.
Geralt.
Boy,
Geralt.
Netflix is really picking the low-hanging fruits,
No, it's-
eh?
He doesn't even have a beard. He's
Okay,
supposed to be
hold. So, this show is set previous to the game. So that's important. This was the
Okay.
hair he was rocking at that time in the lore of the books. And he hates having a beard. Like, that's important to know about the character. You know, this is based on the
Okay.
books, not on the show. So,
Okay.
like, I'm okay with that. I do think that the wig is not good. Like, it's a cheap wig. Like, it's like Party City,
Yeah, I was gonna say I bought
Spirit
this at
Halloween.
Budget cuts, man.
But I think they could have sold it more if they had shown some special effects of what the changes take place after he drinks the potion. So.
12 in chat says Legolas.
He does. He looks like elderly Legolas, geriatric Legolas.
Geriatric Legolas.
Oh.
I'm willing to give it a chance. I don't know.
More like Lego Loss. Oh, stretch? That was a stretch.
That was a stretch.
It was all right.
Okay.
Rick liked it. He likes the dad jokes.
It's close.
So, Vendor has
Yes.
drawn some random winners for codes. I know at least all of these people are already playing the beta.
Okay, so let's draw some more numbers
All
then.
3 of those people have been posting like about playing the beta.
This is
So-
what I was concerned about. A lot of our listeners. How about okay,
What if
here
we
go.
just ask people who doesn't have beta keys? Who doesn't have access to the
You
beta?
probably could have done this beta.
We almost certainly could have done this beta.
But I made a great list.
You did make a great list. You make the best lists. I love
was-
your lists.
No list has ever been beta.
She's like, you make the best lists. I love your lists, but that's not what we're gonna do.
But it's a concern because like I know for a fact that all 3
Yeah.
of these people have been playing the beta.
It's okay, Joseph. I'm used to it.
This is why Shalene would make a great boss. She'd be like, "This is great work. The best work I've seen from you to date.
Mhm.
Amazing. We're not going to use it.
You're gonna love this work. It's great.
It's the best
Like,
work.
You've done so good. We're not going to use any of it. It's
But
just too good.
I am a boss actually at work. I wait until they turn away
Whoa.
before I throw their work out. So
Well, that's right. You
they
you
never
are a
know.
boss.
They never
And you
know.
are
I have
I
a,
have 30 employees under me.
I have a bullshit stamp. And I
could
use it
that,
actively.
Yeah, I could use that. So Cybear it is talking about the cosplayer. I think he's talking about Mall Cosplay, I think is the guy's name. He does an amazing, amazing Witcher cosplay. So,
Well,
how do we want to give these codes away? Does anybody need
Does
a code?
anybody
Maya?
want some codes?
I have Xbox codes. I have PC codes.
And I have PC codes, which means we have 6 PC codes to give away and 3 Xbox codes.
We can't
Okay.
give these. We can't even give
We
these
can't
away.
even give them away.
So we could probably tweet it out as well, and put it in the Discord. So we'll
Yeah.
continue on with the show. If anybody wants
Um,
to send us a personal message, you can do that.
Vendertron, would you like to talk about GameStop?
I would love to talk about GameStop. So this is as of 10 a.m. November 2nd, 2018, and reported in US dollars. Sony is down over $2, trading at $53.78. Microsoft at $105.84, down another $3. Nintendo, $39.21, down more than $4. Take-Two Interactive, $128.74, is up almost $2, which is the only stock that's doing good on our list of stocks. Activision, trading at $69.30, down about $3 since our last GameStop. Ubisoft is down $1.40, trading at $18.65, and EA is down $13.08. Closed with a value at $92.72. So that's crazy. And Shalene, you have EA stock.
I
Yes?
had an EA stock. I had a single EA stock, and I sold it in June. And since that day, this stock has lost $53.53. So I got out. I got out at the right time.
Man, the stock market is really not doing quite well at the moment. It's doing really bad. I think I don't know. Things are very volatile right now. NAFTA is really making the market thin in the sense, and the legalization of cannabis here in Canada certainly also is not helping matters as well. Though a lot of us thought that the stock prices of most of the cannabis companies would go up, when in fact actually all of them have gone down. Basically all the leading stocks like the Dow Jones, the S&P 500, like those are the industry leaders. Those are also losing money as well. And so when those go down, because they carry the bulk of the market, everything else pretty much gets hurt as well. But that's pretty much GameStop. I mean, everything is down. Everything's falling apart. Hide your kids, hide your wife, sell everything.
I think in general, you can look at economy flux, and typically in the fall, leading up to Christmas, things tend to go down. I mean, business everywhere goes down. Retail, construction, it all kind of drops off a bit. And then right around Christmas time, things pick up heavily because everyone's trying to spend their money for their tax write-offs for 2018.
So do you think
True.
this would be a good time to buy now when things are tanking?
Personally, I think so, because you're probably going to see them spike next year. So that's my opinion. I just think you're going to reflect. I mean, because everything's slow right now. It's just how things work. Like,
I think it's yes, everything is slow, but things are very greatly influenced by the political situation.
Mm-hmm.
but
Now is also a
Even
good
more
time.
so than what we would expect.
It's a good time to remind everybody that we are not experts and we know nothing, and we're stupid.
No, this is all speculation.
So we're just talking.
I'll tell you though something.
following that line, that sentence particularly, I am so excited to hear this.
I was just going to say it's a good time to buy cannabis stocks because everything tanked after legalization.
Including the
Everything
users.
tanked. My cannabis stock dropped about $10.
Yikes! Oh no! There goes your retirement.
Well, it's up $4 since it hit
Wow.
rock bottom, but yeah.
Didn't I see that there was an article saying that since Canada legalized marijuana, that you guys are almost out?
Oh yeah, we're sold out daily. We literally can't keep it on the shelves.
You've
Oh,
got more
wow.
smog than Los Angeles.
Literally can't keep it on the shelves. It's quite nuts, and that's why the stock price is dropping. Supply and demand, right?
So all the shopkeepers are like, sorry.
All the shopkeepers are like
Right
that
thought.
shopkeeper.
Not
in-
even
or-
shopkeepers. Like it's people are
Sorry,
just
man.
ordering online.
on our
Mhm.
shelves.
People are just ordering online, and Canada Post is like striking now, and it's like,
They're getting a contact high from just.
but they're always striking Canada Post. Freaking back to work.
Speaking of getting back to work,
Let's get back.
Is that
to
it for
this
stocks?
podcast.
Yes, that's it for stocks.
what? Okay, great.
That's the stock bumper.
Rick, tell us about some video games, please. Save this podcast. Tell us about.
Oh,
some
it's
games.
up to me. I've been playing Red Dead Redemption 2. I wasn't planning on buying it, but I did. Well, I mean, I was planning on buying it, but I just wasn't sure if I could. And it's awesome. Shalene, have you had a chance to play it?
I have played like the first 40 minutes. I fought some wolves in the snow, and then I went to bed.
So I got out of the snow.
Sorry, Whiskey Gamer in the chat says, in other news, the sale of poutine has skyrocketed
That's true.
because everybody's got the munchies.
You
That's
know,
incredible.
this is the weird thing. I live in southern Pennsylvania area, northern Maryland, and around here, gravy is a thing. It's like I want some fried fish, gravy, of course. Cheese is everywhere. There's like cheese makers and stuff like that, and it's just like cheese everywhere. But
Yeah.
the second you're like, can I get fries with gravy? Yes, you can. Can you put cheese on that? What are you talking? Get out! You possessed. Like it's just weird. Like
Oh, it's the best.
But
It's so
I
good.
know. It's amazing, but it's like it's so foreign to everyone around here where it's just like
Mhm.
gravy french fries, great. Cheese on your french fries, awesome. How about chili cheese on your french fries? Amazing. How about gravy cheese? No. Anyway. It's the strangest thing. So I've been playing Red Dead Redemption, and I got to say, first and foremost, it's been a long time since I've played a game where I felt like the mechanics and gameplay have been truly revolutionary. And I can definitely say that without a doubt, this game is very much revolutionary. The attention to detail is absolutely insane. If you go on our gaming on Reddit and just look at some of the ridiculous shenanigans that happen in this game, I was reading a story of a gentleman who went up to a homestead, and there was a couple at this homestead, and the wife got a little squirrely with the player, so he shot the wife and ran away. And then later on, he came up on that same house at a different angle, and he didn't realize it was that homestead, and he sees this guy mourning at a fresh grave.
Mhm.
And so, like, he buried his wife. I've also read that if you pistol whip someone, the next day they come back with like a bandage on their head. Yeah, like it's crazy. If you kill an animal, its carcass will go over a period of decay. It will like look like a carcass, and then it'll look like a rotting carcass. Then later it'll be just a pile of bones.
Cool.
The attention to detail in this game is amazing. Two deer were seen fighting, and they got their antlers locked. So the one was killed, and the other deer was trying to unlock its antlers from the other deer. I mean, it was just really cool. So what I've been doing, I already had to, I don't want to do too many spoilers. There's a drunk mission, Shalene, that is absolutely phenomenally fantastic. It's one of the best missions I've ever played in a video game. It was so much fun, and I cannot wait till you get to the drunk mission. The shooting is fantastic. The dead eye system is a little strange at first, and then you kind of level it up and it gets better. One of the things, Maria pulled a Blazing Saddles Mungo where she punched a horse, she said in chat. One of the things though is I hate controllers with a freaking passion. Like I can't aim properly with them anymore. Like I'll slowly try to like get on someone's head with the reticule and then just like completely zip past it because I like push the stick too hard or something.
I never realized how
Yeah.
much slower the gameplay is with a controller.
I know, it's ridiculous.
It's
But
different, yeah.
Mhm.
I had to turn on aim assist. I feel like a grandpa. I need help trying to aim.
Where's my teeth?
So anyway, it's been so much fun to play that game and just kind of be evil. It's like a game, you're already an outlaw, so it kind of gives you a little flexibility to be kind of mean and make bad decisions.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been playing that. I was playing a lot of the Destiny 2. I was playing a lot of Destiny 2, the Halloween stuff. Can you guys hear that rain? It's nuts.
Oh my god, I just put my ear up to my microphone.
You did. You did.
So
Oh man,
so
why am I so stupid?
You hear it.
by the way, if you flip the leads on your microphone vendor, it would become a speaker. Anyway, so playing the Halloween stuff is fun because you get to wear Halloween masks in Destiny 2 while you're doing various missions, and that's kind of cool.
I love those like holiday events that they have in games. I hope
Mhm.
Fallout does that.
The Traveler in Destiny 2 is this big giant orb, and you get to wear a Traveler mask, which is just a giant. You walk around with like a giant like white ball in your head. It's funny. And then playing Fallout 76 beta with you two was awesome. We'll talk about that. I think. Are we going to talk about that this episode just to be
Let's
timely
talk
with
about
it?
it some now. Yeah, I mean, it's not like we're not going to have any more new gameplay to talk about on Fallout.
Well, I'm talking about it whether you or not you guys are talking about it anyways. So yeah.
So last night we played together. You, Vendor and Shalene, and then
Yeah, look, we're right here.
Yeah, there's a screenshot.
Here's
I'll give
Rick.
you Yeah,
And that's me there. and this one over here, Shalene.
I was showing Mom the screenshots yesterday, and she's like, "Who is in the stripy pants?" And I was like, "It's Fendertron," and she was like, "Oh, okay, that's fine. It's fine because she loves you."
Can we talk about how the fact that you weren't supposed to have the Tricentennial Edition stuff and somehow you got it?
Well, we did see another Wastelander with the
We
same gear, so
It was
Yeah.
an uncommon glitch.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
one of the highlights now I was out last week. I couldn't really give my thoughts on Fallout 76, so I'd like to give a little bit of that on this show,
I think you should.
if that's okay. One of the things that we were all kind of scared or nervous about was, will this be a Fallout game? And it is 100% a Fallout game. I feel like I'm playing Fallout.
Mhm.
I've seen other people in this world. None of them have attacked me. They've done funny little emotes and ran off. One of the things that we did last night was the four of us, we were finding workshops to take over. We captured an ammo manufacturing plant. And by the way, there were these massive turrets out front that you could activate, and I about had a heart attack of joy.
Yeah, he peed a little.
Oh, I did. I tinkled. And by the way, I hate that. I hate when someone's like, I gotta go tinkle. I hate it. Anyway,
Joseph Tell Vendor says Vendor was the only aggressive character we saw.
it's true. But then we found this little box, and it's like, this box will supply power if you activate a power plant. We're like, wait a minute. So you could find power plants and it'll power up other settlements. Like, we need to go find this power plant.
Yeah.
And me and Vendor went off scouting and got horribly, horribly attacked and almost died.
We had to take shelter in this vault.
Yeah, a bunker. It was like
A bunker.
a bunker. And it was scary because it's like, we're running away from bad guys. We don't know what's in this vault, and we run in, and turns out it was okay. But
turns out it was awesome.
Yeah, there was so much lore in it.
Yeah.
And so, but we made it to a power plant. Sorry, I catch words in chat and it catches me off guard.
I know.
The word prostate. I'm like,
I know. I'm like, what is going on in the chat room?
Catch up. So I'm not a multitasker. Anyway, we take this power plant, and it was this long, drawn out thing that I don't want to spoil really, because it is kind of a fun quest to do. And then there were still mysteries to solve. There were these switches, and it's like, how do we get these things to work? And there was this map with 3 red blinking dots, but one of them turned green when we activated the power station. We're like, well, what are the other 2 red dots? And so like the mystery of the Fallout universe is there, and like random switches. Like I could just imagine, in Fallout, there's. Can I go on a quick tangent?
Go.
Real quick. So during World War II in Ocean City and north of Ocean City, Cape Henlopen was a military base, and to secure that little inlet from German U-boats, they strung these huge metal cables, which are still on the beach, out into the ocean, and they tied ocean mines on them. Okay, so out in this inlet are just mines to protect the inlet there at Cape Henlopen, Delaware, Maryland area. So anyway, the war is over. And they're like, okay, well, we've got to detonate these mines so that way they don't, no shipping container ships hit them or whatever. We got to detonate these mines. And so they're like, all right, get ready to detonate. And 3, 2, 1, and they click. They'd hit the switch, and they're like, oh, nothing happened. That's strange. Well, hit switch 2, hit line 2. They hit the line, and like, nothing. Try 3, click. No, nothing's working. That's strange. What's going on? Nothing's detonating. And they get this frantic call, and they're like, what are you doing up there? And they're like, we're trying to detonate these mines off the coast. And they're like, we've got explosions at Ocean City, which is like 20 miles down the beach.
Oh no.
Because what happened was the lines snapped and drifted over the years. So all the mines were now down at tourist area of Ocean City, and they were exploding. God. So all these people are just sitting on the beach and out in the water. Boom, boom, boom. And I like to imagine that when you're in the Fallout world and you find the switch, we're just like,
and you push the button and nothing happens.
Nothing happens. Like it's somewhere across the world, someone just is like, it's a nice day to fish. Boom. And like,
yeah.
How much dynamite do you throw into that? Like, Jim?
Well, I'll just put my camp here.
So, but that's what we were like. There's these switches. We're like. Yeah, like nothing was. Like, I don't know what's going on. I was trying to figure.
That's exactly what I want. Or maybe, well, go get a wire. Let's hook a wire up to it. Maybe that.
Yeah, let's attach it to power, like a generator. So it was so much fun because we didn't know what this stuff did.
We had no idea what the hell we were doing. And we were all running around trying to like fix stuff.
It was so cool. Let's go explore this little area. Then it's like someone would yell, "Scorched beast! I've found one!" And we're just gotta run. Or
Rick would go in ahead of everybody, and then he would come barreling out of the bushes past us, and we'd be like, "Where are you going?" And then there'd be like one of those snarly gasters.
Oh yeah, you guys ticked off 2 of them. Yeah, you ran up on 2 of them. And you're like, "Oh, there's 2." So I mean, it feels
that's
like
good.
It's a Fallout game, but with your friends, and so far there are little problems with it here and there. The UI is really strange. I mean, it's like buttons change depending on what screen you're in constantly, and that's kind of annoying.
Mm-hmm.
I've got some problems with flow. Like when you reload, you can't sprint. Even when you're operating the bolt on a weapon just to chamber another round, you can't sprint or move very quickly. Another thing that I have a problem with is if I switch weapons while holding down the aim down sights button, it won't actually bring up aim down sights. I have to let go and close it again. So like there's some things where like during an animation you can't do.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, for a first person shooter, that cuts the flow out. But then again, I've been playing Destiny 2, which is on a different engine and made to be a first person shooter and quick. So I think maybe I'm used to a not very quote unquote clunky game.
Right.
But the problems are completely negligible to me. Like
they're pretty minor for the most part. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, by the way, this kind of ends my gameplay with the Fallout stuff.
That's fine. I'll segue in.
Yeah, I'm super excited for this game, and I we were just talking tonight that we wish we could play it tonight.
Me
too.
I am kind of heartbroken that we have to play something else tonight.
I know, me too.
Sea of Thieves is sitting over there in the corner, like
crying into her punch in the corner of the party. Nobody wants to play with her.
It's the chest of sorrows right now.
Yeah. I really enjoyed playing Fallout 76 with you guys. It was a lot of fun, and I got the full 8 hours in yesterday because I was one of the people that got screwed over on Tuesday.
Yep.
I Oh man, Tuesday was such a bad day. Had a rough day at work. Nothing was going right. I rushed home in traffic to get here with like 3 minutes on the clock before the beta went live. And I powered up Bethesda Net Launcher and it was downloading my game. And at like 2%. And I was like, what?
You were livid.
I was livid. I was so mad. I had to just like let Shalene and Rick go and just be like, you guys have fun. I'm just going to go and just put my mind out of this Fallout headset because I just can't do this right now.
Yeah.
But yesterday was a lot of fun. I really got to experience the game for the first time. That was my first time. And I like that there seems to be a good balance between multiplayer and solo player. And for me, I can't get involved into the lore when I play with other people, just because it takes time to read and really get involved in these things. And when people are planning and doing other stuff and you got to go help, that's not really conducive to that kind of environment.
Oh, I just ignore you guys and read the terminals.
I can't read the terminals when there's other people talking. So I just can't shut that part of my brain off. But I did find some things that kind of irked me, and I do want to point out here that the purpose of the beta, everyone, is that you have the privilege to have early access to the game before it releases to help the company make it better. And so, I think we just lost Rick.
I have to blow my nose because it's running really bad. So.
Oh,
Okay.
I thought maybe the storm cut you out. And so I want to remind everybody that if you did get a chance to play the beta, make sure that you leave Bethesda some feedback. And you can do that by going to help.bethesda.net/app. And under the submit a ticket button, you can just click feedback and you can leave all your feedback there. But I had some thoughts. I don't like that there's no full screen windowed mode in the display settings. I thought that this would be pretty standard. They have a borderless windowed mode and a bordered windowed mode and then a full screen. But they don't have a full screen windowed. Maybe it's just going into border and just making it full screen, I guess. I don't know. That was kind of weird. I found that the player map should be able to be seen as a full screen. You could only zoom out so far and see only a certain area of the map. You couldn't see the whole map. And that's an issue for me. We wanted to check out and see what other things were on the other side of the map and how far we had come. But just some smallest stuff, though. We did some quests and we found like some of the quest things, they just didn't work. So we weren't actually able to complete the quests, which I told them about. So they know about those. The photo mode is real awesome. But I found that it seems a little bit strange that it's only accessible through the map. There should be an option to activate photo mode straight from a keybind.
I think some of these issues in terms of like UI problems and menu problems, I think those are born from basically controller accessibility. Like
possibly
you're limited by the amount of buttons on the controller.
That's true.
And I think that's probably part of
the controls for zooming in and out of photo mode are really clunky. I didn't like those, and the global cam was a little bit strange too.
And we can talk about how sometimes like cycling back and forth in a menu is Z and C, not A and D, and then
that was weird.
To go up and down in the menu, you have to use the arrow keys, not W and S. It's just weird.
I also noticed when entering into the trading UI, it automatically brings up the quantity bar on the first item that's highlighted. That's a major issue because the player has to manually exit out of the quantity bar each time you want to trade something, which actually inhibited us from actually even using the trade system at all.
We just dropped things.
We just dropped things and picked them up. So that's something that needs to be fixed. But
just can imagine, it's like, hey, I got you a gun. You walk up to grab it and you're like, thunk, drop it on the ground.
Yeah.
You pick it up.
You can reset keybinds, but only on certain things. There is no keybind for photo mode. I did look for that. So, But yeah, one of the other big things that I found that I hope they do fix is when you leave a map and you start in a new map, the events that you completed do not carry over.
Oh, the
So
event timers start as soon as you load in a map.
so I was in Grafton. Joseph and I were doing an event, and then we finished the event. We left the map. We got back in with Rick in the map, and suddenly the event started again. So we had to do it all over again. So that was a little bit strange.
And I loaded into a map like 3 or 4 times at my base, and every time I loaded in like a 10-minute time period, there were enemies at my base. And it was like, really?
Anyways,
it's not on a global timer. Yeah.
I loved it. I was cautiously optimistic. This whole time, I was really worried about no NPCs and playing with other people on the map, but we only encountered 2 people. We only ran into 2 people the whole time.
You shot one of them too.
By accident. I thought he was a scorched.
Oh,
He was just standing there, not moving.
I can't believe I missed that.
Anyways, I didn't know the gun was loaded. Anyways, I did play some Ark, and did get some Ark in. I've been tending to Jess's flock while she's been at TwitchCon, and she's back. She's on right now, I think. She's checking things out, making sure nothing died. Everything probably died. But I put some links in the show notes, Shalene, of this amazing structure that I built. I don't know if you guys want to check it out or if you want to show it on the screen, but I built a solarium.
Wow.
And it took me forever. But yeah, it turned out really good. It's really nice. It's really nice. The roof was really difficult to build, but I managed to do it. And now I know how to do it. So I'm going to build a bunch of them now, I think. But yeah, so for our audio listeners, it's basically a giant round platform in which I built a bunch of glass pieces, and it's very geometric and dome-like. So
wow.
Yeah.
That looks really good.
Yeah, it's really nice. And then I was in the parkade. You don't have to show this one, Shalene, but I was in the parkade and I was waiting for the elevator, and the name of the parkade is Target Park. That's the business that owns the parkade. And somebody had gone in with a marker and they had blacked out the tar and the P on park. So it said Get Ark. I was just standing at the elevator and I look over and it says Get Ark.
Wow.
Like, it's a sign, you guys.
That's funny.
It's a sign. Anyways, so that was Ark. I did do a lot of building and it was really fun. I love the building in Ark. It's so fun. That's it. Fallout 76 and Ark and The Young and the Council, or the Council. Shalene, let's talk about the Council. The Council was amazing. I had done episode 1 previously, and I had kind of taken a different turn than the way that we had went, and I'm glad the options that Shalene chose this time around. Yeah.
Yeah. So guys, in case you're not in the know here, we're doing a stream series of the Council, and it's a story-based adventure game. And Vendor is running the controls, but I am picking our options, and it's been pretty exciting, pretty fun. There's a lot to love about the Council. It's much deeper video game than you expect from one of these episodic, choice-based, story games.
Right.
There are skill trees, and the way that your character behaves is different based upon what you've invested in your skill tree. It's really, really interesting. So I like the characters. I feel like we have no idea what's going to happen, where it's going to go from here.
Oh my God. I just want to talk about it, but I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah. I think you should definitely watch our playthrough of this. It was really, really cool. And I encourage playing this game. I'm going to play it again, I'm sure, after we're done doing the Let's Play, just to see how differently it can go. This one's pretty cool.
One of the things that I really like about it is the skill branching. it's like incredibly complex.
Yes, we picked as one of our skills, was it etiquette that we picked? Is that what it was called? Basically, it was manners.
Yes. We want it to be proper.
And so our character speaks in a different way than Vendor's character spoke when he played previously.
My character was pretty like off the street, like, yeah. And he failed a lot of conversations.
It's really cool.
Yeah, because in the conversations, right, your dialogue dictates what the response of the NPC is, and that really sets the course for future events, of course. And so, yeah.
Yeah, but mistakes were made in this playthrough of the council.
Oh yeah,
like,
big time. But you know what?
Know
what? The outcome was better than the first time I had played the first episode.
I wish we had made a different decision at the end there, man. It would have gone better for poor old Louis.
I just noticed in the Zoom it says Donna Summers is talking.
It's been a long time since I've put a silly name into the Zoom.
Yeah, Shalene likes to change her names in the video conference software. Anyways, yeah, the game is beautiful.
Mm-hmm. It has a very unique aesthetic.
Oh, it's so nice. It's so nice. And the cinematics, they've done a really good job with those cutscenes.
And George Washington, man. I love George Washington.
Oh, man.
I
It's
didn't
so
realize
good.
he was in this.
Oh, yeah.
Napoleon is also in it.
Bonaparte?
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
And is there another big person in the... I don't think so.
I'm trying to think if there were any other like actual historical characters. If there were, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
so we stole everyone's books. We went around as book kleptomaniacs and stole every book in the manor. It was fantastic.
Wow.
We'd go into a room and Vendor would be like, "Okay, let's look at this," and I'd be like, "Books! We must steal the books."
Yeah, we had a choice. We had a choice of, well, I'm not going to say anything because that'll spoil it. But guys, check it out. It's literally like watching a movie. So
it was a good time. It was a really good time.
So what else have you been playing, Shalene?
Okay, so I mentioned last time that I had a review copy of Ghostbusters World, which is the Ghostbusters version of like a Pokemon Go style game. And I played that. I checked it out. I don't think I'm gonna stick with it. But it's not a bad game. It's pretty okay, actually. It's you basically play as a Ghostbuster. There aren't many customization options. So basically you have like Dude Ghostbuster or Lady Ghostbuster.
No
and
hats?
There were a couple of hairstyles. There weren't really hats. But it was okay. I made a cute little Ghostbuster lady and I busted some ghosts. And I think it's kind of unfair to compare it to Pokemon Go, actually, because it's not necessarily the same style of game. It does have that AR catching ghosts thing, like, you catch Pokemon, but it's not really doing that thing trying to get you out walking. There's more.
Could you choose your character?
You could customize your character. You could play as a male or a female.
Okay.
And there were some small customization options. I was able to change my my Ghostbustin' jumpsuit, and from the traditional coveralls into a slightly different style of Ghostbustin' coveralls. And there's a pretty good variety of ghosts to bust, and it's charming. It has Ghostbusters charm. The sound effects are all there. The songs are there. The characters are there. Like, I had to go fill out paperwork with Janine before I could go bust ghosts. I had to file a W-4 with Janine.
Wow.
And then afterwards you'd be like, Janine, I'll be in my office.
What if she was like, you start next Tuesday and you had to wait till next Tuesday?
Oh, I would have been so sad. But like, it's okay. It's not bad. It's I don't know that it's necessarily for me, but if you love Ghostbusters, I would give this one a chance. I would. It's free to play, and you have to build your own Ghostbusting traps, your own little ghost
Nice.
traps, which is
Just
cool.
like a modern day Egon.
Yeah, it's great.
Why didn't I watch Ghostbusters for Halloween?
I know Ghostbusters. Is
just-
so
I watched
good.
like every scary movie except that one.
It's
Did
so
you watch
good.
Human Centipede?
No, not like real scary.
I'm talking
God.
about like Halloween Town.
No, I'm like Hocus Pocus and Beetlejuice.
I did not like Hocus Pocus.
Oh, well, nobody likes Hocus Pocus, but
kidding
everybody loves Bette Midler, so
Well,
come on,
I-
she's
I
fabulous.
Guys.
like once.
And Kathy and Jimmy.
I loved Hocus Pocus, guys.
It's so good.
Is it
I haven't
sad that
watched it since school.
Oh,
Is it sad that I watched Halloween Town and actually liked that one?
I love Halloween Town. The old
you.
lady reminds me of my grandma.
Debbie Reynolds?
Yeah.
She's great.
Yeah.
And I had a crush on Kimberly J. Brown.
You're savage.
I was young.
Oh
She
no.
has a jawline.
You guys have angered the chat. The chat, they enjoy Hocus
No.
Pocus.
Rick has angered the chat.
I didn't. I just.
Joshy
but-
Neurotic is flipping tables. Whiskey Gamers throwing popcorn at you. Goodness.
It's not my fault.
Yeah. Well,
So-
anyways. That's cool. I'm glad you like
Yeah.
Ghostbusters.
It was fun. It was fun. I'm not sure that I'm gonna stick with it, but it was a fun time. I also played another ghostly game, and this one was called Detention, and it's an indie game. It's set in like a militarized Taiwan.
The chat's killing me. You're
They
killing
are.
me,
They're
Smalls.
really funny. They're so funny. Okay, Detention, guys. Detention.
Sorry, focus.
It's set in a militarized Taiwan, and you play as this character who takes a nap in class and wakes up, and everyone's gone. He's all alone, and there's a typhoon warning. So he's trying to get home before this typhoon happens. He runs into a girl, and they're trying to get back to their homes. You know,
That's scary.
it is scary, and then they get to the bridge and are not able to cross. So they head back up to the school to try and like wait out this typhoon. And the atmosphere of this game is like incredibly successful, you guys. It's very spooky, very eerie. It makes you feel very on edge. And eventually, because of spoiler reasons, you start playing as the female character.
Mhm.
And it gets real scary real fast, guys. And after probably about half an hour, like I no, just no.
Really?
Like no.
Was it worse than Amnesia?
Well, yeah.
Wow.
For me it was. And I don't know if that was because like I wasn't alone playing Amnesia.
That's true.
You were there. We had a whole chat room of people laughing at our scaredness or my scaredness specifically.
Oh, it's a Japan. Yeah, this does look pretty terrifying. You know what
But-
this reminds me of? It reminds me a little bit of Fatal Frame 2: Crimson Butterfly, which was another fantastic horror game.
Yeah, I got past like the first real scare and I was like, yeah, I can do this. And then I heard a noise and I was like, nope, I'm out. I'm done. Never again. Delete, uninstall, burn computer. Never again. So, yeah, it was cool though. I recommend it to people who like the spookiness. So speaking of spookiness, I decorated my Animal Crossing Pocket Camp for Halloween. I had it all tricked out. It was amazing. And we had actually talked about this the other day, and I told you guys, I think I'm done with Pocket Camp. Like, I
Yeah,
think,
and we were like, what?
I think
Yeah.
I'm done with it. And then yesterday
What have you done
morning,
with Shalene?
they started an anniversary event, and
Android.
they sucked me right back in, you guys.
Oh,
They sucked me right back in.
like a
so,
Hoover.
Yeah. I'm growing flowers in my garden to get little little bow-shaped butterflies. Give them to Isabel. Get prizes. I'm all in.
Gosh.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Don't judge. It's my jam.
No judging
It's
here.
my jam. And I already talked about the first 40 minutes or so of Red Dead. I fought some wolves in the snow. Then I took a nap.
I hate wolves.
Oh my gosh.
I hate that you why does every video game out there make you fight a wolf in the first 10 minutes? Like, it always happens. Why?
So there was a video of someone on Reddit, and it was called Wile E. Coyote, and he's walking up to this cliff, and this dog runs and goes to bite him, but like the character turns and the dog grabs his arm and he kind of spins, so the dog is now over the cliff, and like the wolf lets go of the character, looks at the character, like completes like a normal, like back to normal pose, and stays there for a split second, and then goes falls.
Oh my goodness. That is
so good.
amazing. That's really good. But yeah, I played the first little bit of Red Dead. I like what I see so far. The snow's real good. But
so
I
pretty.
really haven't played enough to comment much.
Oh man, the game is gorgeous.
Guys, I've been playing Fallout 76. Every time the
you?
beta's been available, I've been there.
It's
I've
so
been there.
good.
It is
I'm so
good.
glad we're back to talking about Fallout.
I know. I'm so
Right now.
happy. I'm so happy. I had a great time. I was watching Vendertron was streaming while he was playing the beta yesterday, and Rick joined him.
Yeah.
And I just felt like the little match girl, like outside the window in the snow, like looking in, watching these guys play. It was
Let me
so
tell you,
funny.
it's incredibly tough to stream a beta.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's
But
tough to
I
stream
got
a
home
game.
from work and I started playing with the guys, Rick, Vendertron, and Joseph Tao were
Mhm.
playing. I jumped into their group and I started up a PC character. So my PC character is a gentleman. My Xbox character is a lady. And my PC character, I named him Jim Justice.
That's so good.
Because of our conversation during
About
that
Jim
Fallout
Justice.
show about Jim
Mhm.
Justice, the governor of West Virginia. I probably should have done a Google to make sure he's not like a terrible racist or something.
Oh,
You know, he could be problematic. I don't know. Some politicians are.
Mhm.
But anyways, Jim Justice is fabulous. He has a pink pompadour and some guy liner, and he's beautiful, and I love him. And yeah, he's really good, really good. And so I jump into the game. I'm much lower level than the guys are because they've been playing, all day. And it's okay, it's fine. Vendor's fighting some snallygasters. And I want to see a snallygaster.
Yeah. So Rick and Joseph Tao were like, nope, and they like fast traveled out of there, and they left me. I was on the top of this like wooden structure lookout thing,
We came back.
and I was just fighting these snallygasters, and then Shalene came to the rescue.
Look,
She spawned in and fired 2 bullets, and they were instantly dead.
I did. I owned those snallygasters. It was fantastic.
they killed us. Like we had no choice but to spawn somewhere.
I feel like Snallygaster is going to be like the new, like, get out of here, you little Snallygaster. You little Snallygaster,
I think
you.
we
They're
should bring
evil.
it back. It's going to be good.
Yeah. I want a pet Snallygaster now. Hey, I wonder if that'll be a thing.
I hope for pets. I hope for best for pets.
Yeah.
So the guys are asking me like, "Hey, Shalene, do you need any stuff? Like, we've got stuff. We'll share with you." And I'm like, "Sure." And I mentioned to Joseph like, "Hey, yeah, I could use a couple of throwing knives if you want to make me like 10 or 12 throwing knives. I'd appreciate that." And he's like, "Oh, sure, here you go." And he drops a little paper bag at my feet. And I'm like, "Thank you." And I pick it up. And there are 75 throwing knives in this bag. A little brown paper lunch bag. And I just imagine, like, he tosses it on the ground and, like, thonk, thonk. Like, it's like 50 pounds of throwing knives.
You pick it up the bag's bottom. and it falls out, like,
Not only is Joseph thorough with his news, He is thorough with his crafting as well.
It's so funny. So I thought it was really great. I spent that whole night like just using these throwing knives with reckless abandon. Usually I feel like I have to conserve them, and save them. But I had 75 in my pocket, so I was just chucking them at everything. It was so fun. I was fighting everything with throwing knives. Like, I was like level 6 and the guys are like level 12 and we're in this power plant. We're being attacked by these level 23, level 26 scorched ones. And
oh man, we were not supposed to be there.
And I'm just chucking throwing knives at them. It was so good. It was so good.
We could tell that you were using throwing knives by the fact that they were all floating around about eye level.
Yes.
Yeah. After the bodies despawned or whatever.
Yeah.
They were hanging in the air. It was pretty funny glitch. And I found lots of fun hats. The guys gave me lots of fun hats. It was really good. Really
You
good.
gave me a nice outfit too.
I did. Yeah, I thought you would appreciate it more than me.
I did.
And plus, it made my hips look big. So,
Hips don't lie.
Jim Justice was not having it. It made him... It added like 15 pounds to his frame. So, yeah. Just pass it on to you. It was a Brotherhood of Steel outfit, guys, and it was pretty awesome. It was pretty awesome.
Also, we broke Shalene when she got in. So I have this this guy here, right? You guys can see that? This outfit from the Tricentennial edition, and for whatever reason I ended up being the only person who got the Tricentennial gear. And when Shalene spawned in, I had hopped into my power armor with just the head.
Yeah.
And she broke. She broke, you guys.
I did.
It's real good.
Did
you get a
remember
screenshot
the
of
last
that?
time that I've laughed that way. I don't think I did even take a screenshot, Vendor, because...
Okay, I think I've got screenshots.
Like, I was helpless with laughter. It was...
I'll post them to Twitter later.
Yeah, it was out of control.
Gotta figure out how to pull those up. It's not an easy thing.
It was really fun playing with the guys, and something that I like, though, about the co-op experience is that you don't necessarily have to stick side by side and do the same thing if you don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
We took over a munitions factory, and the guys were super into it, like making bullets and stuff. And guys, I was not super into that. Like, I love you very much. I was not super into it. After we finished defending the munitions factory, I was kind of bored. So I took off walking, looking for something to do. And it was fine. It was fine. I found some scorched, and I shot them, and it was good. And I got a level, so...
Could I pick this up from my perspective, because it makes this amazing?
You can. I'll drop it in just a sec. So I shoot these guys and I walk into this tent to level up because, it doesn't pause when you level up and you can get attacked. So I'm in this tent leveling up, and now Rick, if you want to pick up.
And the only reason I want to say it from my perspective is Vendor and Joseph are in the factory. I'm kind of off scouting this little cabin, and we hear this. We're like, "What is that? What is going on? What is that?" And so I run to where I think it is, and I pull up my binoculars, and I see fire. I'm like, "Guys, this explosion!"
We thought we were getting raided, right?
Yeah, we didn't know what it was, but because they were huge, concussive. I can't talk. Concussive explosions, and so I run up, and I'm looking. I'm like. I was like, oh, it's vehicles. These vehicles are exploded. And then I was like, I saw Shalene's ID tag. I was like, wait a minute. Shalene, you're right here? She goes, oh, yes, I am. I was like, did you blow up these vehicles? And she's like, no, not that I know of.
Meanwhile, she's standing right next to them.
She's like, I'm just in this building leveling up. I was like, I think you did blow them up.
Right, because the vehicles actually have a delayed... they gotta burn for a little bit, right?
So I'm hearing these guys freaking out about getting attacked, and I'm like, well, that's fine. I'm way over here. It won't bother
good thing
me.
I'm not there.
Exactly. And then I hear feet, and I'm like, oh gosh, Rick, is that you? And he's like, yeah, it's me. Oh man.
And what did Joseph Tal call you our walking nuke?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that was what he said.
It's true. He just blows things up and walks away.
Yeah, but it was really fun, though. It was really, really fun.
It's so funny.
If you guys ever get the chance in Fallout 76, go to, what is it? The Winding Path?
Yeah, the winding path.
Oh, yeah. That was really cool.
Go to the Winding Path. We will say no more, but just go there and check it out. It's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
Something I wanted to quick mention too that we couldn't figure out when you first start this game. It's kind of blurry, like the draw distance.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
blurry, and we were like,
Mhm.
That's really strange. But I realized the more you up your perception, the less blurry everything becomes. So
Mhm.
it's not a glitch. They just were like, oh, the more perception you have on the world around you, the more you can see and the farther you can see.
That's
Mhm.
amazing.
And it's kind of like, I love that concept, but I can see this being difficult for people who don't do perceptive builds. It kind of feels like it shoehorns you into a certain way of stacking points in your
Mhm. I agree.
However, I do think they should keep it to some extent. I really enjoy it.
I agree, and I really did like it. And I thought that
Took a second.
I thought that they were just like making the distance blurry to like save on game performance,
Right.
because usually that's what happens. But that wasn't the case here.
Mhm.
It was deliberate, so that's cool.
Some things really remind me of Fallout New Vegas, like the ability to have and use binoculars, the
Mhm.
throwing knives, the throwing hatchets. Like, I feel like they've considered, some of these mechanics that were really beloved in Fallout New Vegas.
Some of the music from Fallout New Vegas, I think, was also
Oh, interesting.
there.
They have a big playlist this time.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's a
The
huge
playlist is
playlist.
awesome. I've been listening to it all week.
Hmm.
Binoculars are awesome. I'm
I
glad they're
like
back.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, but who knew binoculars would be my number one button?
Yeah, but I really had a good time playing Fallout 76 with you guys. It was really fun. I love photo mode, and I imagine it won't be very long at all before these guys are sick of photo mode, because every little while I was like, hey guys, we gotta take a selfie.
Well, I'll never
Guys,
get tired
everyone
of photo
stop.
mode.
Pose! Rick, do the finger guns.
Rick will be off shooting all the baddies, and Shalene and I'll just be like posing in front of the explosions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it was great, and I was really glad to experience that with the three of you, so thanks for that.
One thing that I hope we do get to see is seasonal events.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I want Fallout Holiday.
That would be cool.
I want Fallout Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if they'll do anything like that.
And Fallout Easter.
Mhm.
I want to get all the specialty items.
That's all I really had. Shall we roll
Cool.
into our challenge?
It's a lot of
Yeah,
games.
yeah.
Yeah, the challenge was for last time was screenshots from a horror game for Halloween, and
Exciting.
let's check those out. Guys, this is Detention. It was so scary. It was so scary. There's like a river of blood. The character
Ugh.
is saying, "Oh God," and that's also what I was saying, and it's super scary. I can identify. And Sister Rose on Twitter says, after fleeing it for a year, I finished another level and it freaked me out. I do love the fact that there are pictures of Nellie Bly, who also went into an insane asylum. Maybe I'll do some more next year. And her screenshots are from Daylight.
Yeah, I remember hearing about this one.
Yeah. I played a bit of that, and I think I also noped out of Daylight. I played like the first hour of a bunch of scary games.
They should make a Hocus Pocus video game.
This one's from Gerfuffle. He says, playing Alien Isolation. I heard something behind me in the air ducts. Death followed immediately.
Oh my gosh.
The alien is crawling out of the air duct, like right next to him. Yeah.
Jeez.
I like Kerfuffle's new avatar.
It's
Mhm.
cute.
That's cute.
And that's all we had. Wait,
Well,
Henry
thanks for the
Cavill has started
entries.
up again. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
no.
I'm sorry. He walked on.
That's the real horror entry. Oh no. What do we have for our next challenge?
Well, before we get to that next challenge, I want to talk about something that I thought of coming onto this episode, and I want to talk about the 10 worst. Well, yeah, let's do the 10 worst video games of all time. Okay, I thought this was interesting. And this
Okay.
ties into next challenge. Okay,
Okay.
I have a plan for this
Okay.
because didn't we do like the top best arcade games before, right?
I think we did, yeah.
We did. So I googled around just to find like some sort of like list to see
You
which one
you
was better.
you walked into Google?
I walked into Google and they're like, here's a bunch of top 10s or top 30s. And a lot of the games tended to kind of go on other lists. So I figured this one was pretty close. This one's from the top 10s where people actually vote. And so that we're like, we'll start at number 10. We'll go down. I'll be quick about this. Sonic the Hedgehog from 2006 on the Xbox 360 was number 10. And there are paragraphs of why this game is bad. But I was not expecting this to make top 10. Number 9, Shaq Fu, which I remember.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a kung fu fighter game with Shaq.
Oh no. I feel like that's something that he funded
Probably.
just to make him more popular, and it flopped.
Number 8, and this was on a bunch of different lists of worst video games ever, is Plumbers Don't Wear Ties. And from what I could tell, this is basically like a click and make your own adventure game based on a PowerPoint of getting girls topless while being a plumber. And it was like, I don't know. I made it on a lot of. And then another on number 7, we're not going to get into it, but Custer's Revenge came out in 1982. It's a terrible game. That was on a bunch of worst video games. Number 6 from PlayStation 3, Ride to Hell: Retribution. It's a biker gang game. This one was not on a bunch of different lists, but it was on this one. I think I kind of remember this game coming out, but everyone was talking about how all of the controls were terrible. It was full of QuickTime events that were awful and terrible glitches and awful mindless enemy AI and a bad story to boot. Number 5 is Action 52, and apparently it's some sort of NES game. I don't really know much about it, but it's apparently pretty bad. It was the NES cartridge that had 52 games on it. So you think of how much data an NES cartridge can hold. This shoved 52 games onto one of those cartridges. Apparently they were all bad. Number 4 is Bubsy 3D for the PlayStation. You ever heard of this one?
Mm-mm.
I haven't heard about this either, but I saw some screenshots and it's pretty bad. And it's, again, glitches, controls, story, everything's terrible. Number 3, Big Rigs Over the Road Racing. This was on a bunch of different lists as well. And, it was notorious. Some people were saying it's so bad it's good.
Ooh, I love those games, though.
Yeah, apparently
Those
some
can be very
glitches.
good.
And apparently what happens when you finish racing first, the quote, your YOU' winner is what appears. So that's number 3. Number 2.
That's so good.
You're a winner. Woo! Number 2 is E.T. for the Atari, which makes sense. And number 1 is Superman 64 with the top voted quote for this game. This game just ruined my whole life. So, yeah, a lot of these games were on a bunch of different lists. Like Superman 64 was on a bunch of them. Big Rigs was on a bunch. Bubsy and Custer's Revenge and Plumbers Don't Wear Ties were on a bunch of different ones. And what I got to say is I was surprised I didn't hear about a lot of these. Other than like E.T. and a few other ones. And it kind of was fascinating that, it kind of makes me want to go play some of these games like Superman. Like, how bad could it have been?
Yeah, I can't actually say that they're terrible because I've never played them.
Yeah, so cream
Interesting.
rises to the top. But what I wanted, what made me think about this was the challenge for next fortnight, the next Gamestack challenge will be, I want a screenshot of the worst game you've ever played.
Okay.
And I'm curious to see what everyone's like. This game is just awful, and I want to know your reasons by it. I can think of, I'm trying to think of the one that I played that was most terrible, I guess you could say. Oh, I know what it is going to be. So I'm curious to see what everyone thinks. What do you guys think of that challenge? Is that all right?
I already have the game
I'm
in
already
mind.
angry
Oh,
thinking
jeez.
about it.
I'm already
Like,
Googling.
I know what mine is, and I'm already angry.
So this is going to be great. So yeah, that's the challenge.
Okay.
Thank you, Rick. That brings us to our listener feedback section. This time we have got an email. Vendor, would you like to read it?
Sure. This email comes from Jim from Scotland. Hello, Jim. Jim says, "Hi, Rick, Vendor, and Charlene.
Close
Thanks
enough.
for the shout out last week. Charlene mentioned on an earlier show that she was
Fine.
not starting Assassin's Creed Odyssey as she was busy. I have put 60 hours in so far and only seen 60% of the map. The main reason I wrote, though, is that I have noticed a few YouTubers giving it a hard time about being a bit grindy. And note that you can pay to get an XP boost to cut the grind, suggesting that it might, suggesting that it be made grindy to force players to actually pay. I have not found the game to be overly grindy. Most of the side quests have been fun, and if me interested, and the main story has been worth it so far. I'm not a fan of microtransactions, but I think in this case you can play the game without using them no problem. So, thoughts?
I think the only person that's ever played this game was you, Shalene.
Yeah, and I've only played the first couple of hours. I did bail out because
How are we supposed to get
so
be
much?
a gaming
I'm
podcast if
sorry.
we play nothing.
I'm
None of us
sorry.
play anything new.
I play
play
the
all
beginning of
kinds
a
of
lot
stuff.
of things, Rick. I play the first opening section of lots of games.
We're terrible. We're a terrible gaming podcast.
Well, that's what the people love.
Played a half an hour of the latest awesome game, and I have nothing to say about it. I've also heard that it was grindy as well. But I don't know. I never played it, so
Yeah.
I
I'm also
appreciate
not a
the
fan of
feedback, though.
microtransactions,
Yeah.
so
what, Shalene?
I appreciate the feedback, though, because I haven't played that much, and I can't judge whether it's overly grindy. So, thank you for
But-
writing in, Jim.
yes. Anyways, thank
Jim
you for sharing.
Justice from Scotland.
Yes, we're gonna call him Jim Justice now. We really need to double check that profile, though.
We do. He could be
Hey, look,
terrible.
I checked his wiki, and there were no
He
controversies.
could be like, I eat babies. You know, we don't know.
Yeah. It's
There were no
crazy.
controversy
That's
sections
good.
on his
No
Wikipedia.
milkshake duck happening here. That's good.
Ooh.
No.
So, speaking of Jim
Scott.
Justice.
It's got the show.
Speaking of Jim Justice, though, like Jim Justice, he emerged from his room in the vault. He put on his Pip-Boy and emerged from his room, and the little Codsworth that was out there. I don't remember what the name of that Mr. Handy was that I ran into right away, but he's like, "Hello, Mr. Jim," and I was like, they reused the name files from Fallout 4. That was
But not
great.
Shalene.
They did not include the Shalene one. That's just for me. It's unique to me.
That's
I
awesome.
still have
What-
that set as my text message tone.
You know what we should really have everybody who has played Fallout 76 beta and needs to give feedback do? We should get them to write Bethesda and say, you need to add a radio station to the Pip-Boy that plays nothing but that Fallout show podcast. Just over and over, episode upon
Oh,
episode.
man. That would be great. That would be amazing.
Should make a mod. Somebody make a mod.
So,
Anyways,
speaking of feedback, did you mention how players can give beta feedback?
yes, I did, but I will mention it one more time. All you got to do is go to help.bethesda.net/apps. Or apps, sorry. And under the submit ticket button, there is a feedback button that you click and you can leave your feedback there. And just to reiterate one more time, if you have the beta, you are a privileged gamer, and Bethesda's provided that to you. And depending on getting your feedback back from your gaming experience, so follow through with it, right?
Yeah.
This is why we have the privilege of being able to access betas before the games actually release, not just to play them. So, yeah, and I think, like, you know, personally, like, I was a little miffed that I couldn't access the game on Tuesday. I'm glad I was able to access it yesterday, but part of it for me is actually being able to participate in that feedback. So.
And if you are not one of the beta players and would like to be, we've still got 2 Xbox beta codes and about half a dozen PC beta codes up for grabs. So if you would just let us know that you want one of those codes, we'll get it to you and you can play the beta this weekend. So yeah. Anybody have anything they want to plug before we take it out?
Nope.
Just one more time, The Young and the Council will not be coming to screens near you this Sunday, because we will most definitely be playing Fallout 76.
Indeed. Email us at info@wejustlovegames.com, just like Jim from Scotland did, and you could hear your email read on the show. And we love your emails. We really do. We love hearing what you guys have to say.
Mm-hmm.
You can find us on Twitter at WeJustLoveGames. I'm Shalene L. Rick is Rick McVick. Vendertron is Vendertron N. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/WeJustLoveGames, facebook.com/group/WeJustLoveGames. It's been pretty active there during beta week. And the Discord is basically the chat room experience stretched out through the week. It never ends. It's the party that never stops. And if you would like to join our Discord, there's a link on our Twitch page, or you can just send us a message and we'll get you a link.
And just a quick welcome to all of the people that have come into the show since the last show. Hi there, Joe here, KidLink21, Dishonorable Thief, Fire and Gasoline, our internet mom, Wendy, Juice Campbell, Malaguero, and Steve Threeb. Welcome. Welcome to the Discord, guys.
Welcome indeed. You can join us for a live recording of this podcast or that Fallout show at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on twitch.tv/WeJustLoveGames. Find us on YouTube, youtube.com/WeJustLoveGames. We're also on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, iHeartRadio, Spotify, like everywhere. Like, subscribe, review the show. We appreciate it a ton. Thanks for listening, guys. Vendor, you have a last word?
We'll see you in the wasteland.